Over 1 million people took to the streets and they said, no, we don't want to fight in Iraq. It's not our war. But what did John Howard say? I don't listen to the mob. That's what he said.
Yeah, well, running a business, you come up against the problem of statute law. And I recognise that there is a gradual erosion of our rights and our freedoms. And I recognise that I have a responsibility as a member of the community to participate in the solutions that for the problems that the community is experiencing.
Do you feel that obviously a lot of this is more to do with the public not knowing the information and their rights, as opposed to it just being a case of bullying? Is it just ignorance of the information as well, or is it deliberate misinformation and ignorance?
Yes, because if there were an intent to educate and empower the population, then it would be happening in schools. Instead, we see the opposite. There seems to be a deliberate attempt to make sure that the population, the community, does not get the good information, that the community is dependent on some other authority, like for example in the right of representation, they want people to be dependent on barristers and solicitors.
And not in their own.
And not in their own capacities. For example, you have a right to not obey a bad law. That's a pretty amazing right.
When you're talking about you have common law, natural law and divine law, is that enabling oneself to be more aligned to divine law or one's own conscience as opposed to common law? Is that how it's interpreted?
Yes, well, Section 116 directly says that. We have an instinct for justice. Right, it's an inbuilt instinct. It's part of a natural capacity within us. And when a parliament passes a law that goes against that instinct, and they're asking us to compromise the very essence of our thinking and our sense of justice, now that's not right. So which one gives out? Which is your first allegiance? Is it to some arbitrary, artificial creation that is wrong and you know it to be wrong? Or is it to your conscience? Where is your first allegiance? Well, for us, it's to our conscience. And we say, hey, that don't make sense. It's wrong. So what are the tools that we have to fix that problem? Well, we've got many, many tools. And our job is to teach the community the tools. For example, we have common law vehicle registration.
Yes.
And we talked about that this afternoon.
And common law driver's licences as well?
Common law driving licence.
You presented a huge range of opportunities to stand up for people and to educate people and everything else. And you said was it in South Australia that first started teaching the Constitution?
It's not being taught yet, but that's where our first notice is upon the system, as it were.
Right.
That it is a duty of care obligation on the part of government to provide for education of the community regarding the foundation laws upon which that community exists.
All right. And UPMART is the organisation which oversees what you're teaching at this conference?
Yes.
Yes.
UPMART is an association to empower electors regarding their rights.
If people are interested, what contacts, where can they go to find more information and to assist in the development of this?
They can go to our website, UPMART, UPMART.org. If we do not act, then those inherited freedoms that we have, kiss them goodbye. Our community is asleep, so if we don't move now, we're in serious trouble. Shirk off the apathy and the complacency and get out there and uphold your rights. Use your rights or lose them. So that's the the motto. And with those rights, you too can have a common law driving licence. And the wonderful thing about a common law driving licence is you don't pay financial penalties, because finicism, financial discrimination, is not permitted. A $100 fine to me is a lot more than it is to Kerry Packer. And then we have the very first, a bit worn, it's been used quite a lot, toll exemption ticket. This is the ticket that I won in the courts in Victoria. I won the right to issue these tickets. That's a pretty amazing victory. We could talk all about that, we hear all about it in the Step 1 seminar, so we invite you to come along, very important. And other little goodies, such as the GST exemption. Of course the ATA will say that they didn't issue such an authority, but it's not the ATO that issued this. It's common law initiative of the community, and we're saving thousands of dollars on GST exemption. Now this is just some of the things that people can do at common law. Not only that, we have direct democracy, where we bring the councils to heel through the use of direct democracy tools. There is so many opportunities that people have at common law, which is the foundation stone of our constitutional law. Look, there is much we can talk about, but the blessings are here. But they are side fringe benefits of actually standing in truth to uphold our inalienable rights.
And all of the information about all of this is available on the UPMART site?
A little bit is on the UPMART side. We keep a low profile on the UPMART side. We encourage, because we're word of mouth, we encourage people to come down and see us personally, to see for themselves what we do. We've got a common law course that goes for a weekend.
What about people who are interstate and are interested?
We are
networking
all around Australia.
Oh, you are?
Yep,
Excellent.
We're in South Australia, Queensland, New South Wales, Victoria, and we're just about to kick off in Tasmania next week.